I'm Gail. Check this gadget, and today we're going to talk about my impressions of the new MacBook. It's been out a little over 2 months now, and in some stores, Best Buy still doesn't even have it in stock at the actual store. So when I first heard about the new MacBook, I was excited. I have been waiting for Apple to come out with a Retina MacBook Air ever since I had my 2011 MacBook Air 11-inch. And Apple finally did as rumored, coming out with a 12-inch MacBook, officially dropping Air as part of the name and just referring to it as the new MacBook. The amazing thing about this laptop, as most other Apple products, is the hardware. They have released their thinnest laptop yet, coming in at 11 inches long, 7.7 inches wide, and 0.52 inches at its thickest point, weighing in at 2.03 pounds. In person, it's absolutely beautiful. I really like the gold model. It will match nicely with my iPad. The space gray looks pretty good too, and you also have the option of silver. And the speakers are great. They get very loud and still provide great clarity. But apparently, for Apple to make it look this beautiful, they had to make, or chose to, make a big sacrifice. They included no ports besides the new USB-C port, which is the port you have to use to charge it. So if you had your laptop plugged in, there are no other ports for you to use unless you was to buy their $79 adapter that includes another USB-C port along with HDMI and USB 3.1 port. Now, just so you know, of course, you do have your headphone jack. They also redesigned the keys on the keyboard so to make it fit in this thin laptop. So as a result, the keys have a little bit of click to them and don't have really travel, not a lot of travel. If you're coming from a previous Mac computer, when you first type on it, you might not like it. However, you do start to get used to it. And I actually started to prefer it over the keyboard of my previous MacBook Air just because of how large the keys are. It felt a little funny going back to typing on my MacBook Air after I got done typing on the new MacBook keyboard. So, the major thing with the MacBook is that it's expensive, as with most Apple products. However, the question is the amount of power you are getting for the price that you're paying. So, for the price of $12.99, you get the 256GB model, 1.1 gigahertz with turbo boost up to 2.4. Or for $15.99, you would get the 512GB model with 1.2 gigahertz up to turbo boost up to 2.6. Both feature the Intel Core M dual core processor, which allows the MacBooks to run without fans, although I do hear that it can get a little hot on the bottom. So, for the same price as the entry-level model, you can get the 13-inch MacBook Pro Retina that packs way more power with a 2.7 gigahertz Intel Core i5 turbo boost up to 3.1. You lose a little storage space since the MacBook Pro only packs 128, but you get all the ports you need. Your USB, your SD, your Thunderbolt, all that good stuff. But let's factor in what and who this laptop would be good for. Because of how light and thin it is, it's an excellent computer for people traveling and on the go a lot and need to have a laptop with them. It's good for people that would primarily type, surf the web, check email. So I can see this being good for journalists, script writers, bloggers, students that like to type their notes, people like that. This would be good for them. There's only a couple of other computers in the market that come close to the lightness of the MacBook. So, of course, we have the Surface Pro 3 and 4 when it releases, the Dell 13 XPS, which I checked out in person. I like the look and format of it. It's just I really don't like the keyboard, so I don't know. I'm one of those people, if I don't like the keyboard, I can't justify spending, hundreds of dollars on it. And then I heard Asus has a laptop that's very light. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. However, I haven't been able to find that one in person, so I can't compare it. So, will I be getting the new MacBook? Well, I really want one. It's perfect for what I want to do, which is have a laptop I can take to work with me, travel with, lay in the bed and use comfortably, and have a good keyboard for typing, and have a great screen, of course. The MacBook delivers on everything. I can get by with just one port by buying a $20 USB adapter and utilizing the cloud and just emailing attachments. Right now, I use my iPad Air 2 to travel with, and my iPad Mini. And however, when it comes to me really want to type some stuff or import pictures and videos while I'm on vacation, I can sometimes run into limitations when it comes to my iPad. Of course, the first thing always is running out of storage, constant thing. And then when it comes to typing long stuff on my iPad, so anything more than like maybe 3 paragraphs or something, I would just really rather have an actual physical keyboard. And I thought about getting a keyboard for, one of those keyboard cases for my iPad, but just because of the side screen of the iPad, the way they make the keyboard is just a little too cramped. It's just not comfortable, so I couldn't justify buying one of those keyboard cases. So I know I shouldn't buy this MacBook, and I know I should wait for the second version, which I know will improve the processor, probably add another USB-C port, and probably have an even better battery life. But that would mean I would have to wait all the way to next April, which is when the MacBook release, and most likely, Apple might pull something and release another one this fall. You never know with Apple, but I would expect them to hold off since they still are having problems with it being in stock, and hold off and give it like a full year before they release the second version. But the problem with that is I have about 2 to 3, most likely 3 vacations I plan to go on in between that time, and I would really, really like to have a super light laptop to take with me, with 12.5 inches being the max screen size. So the only other option to consider besides the MacBook when it comes to having the lightest computer to travel with that's of quality, because you have these little laptops out here that with like those little 11-inch Yogas that are just trash, of quality, will be the Surface Pro 3 or the Surface Pro, because I'm pretty sure they're coming out with the 4 soon. So based on the current pricing of the Surface Pro 3, is right up there, right alongside of the MacBook when it comes to matching up the 8 gigabytes of memory and the 256 gigabytes in storage. It's $12.99, just like the MacBook, except you get a little more powerful processor with the Core i5 at 1.9 gigahertz with turbo boost up to 2.9. So you get more power. Also with the with the Surface Pro, you have the touchscreen and you got the pen import. You have a USB 3.0 port on there, and you even have the additional storage of micro SD. So you actually have a lot of things that you would get with the Microsoft Surface Pro over the MacBook at the same price point. So what I'm going to do before I make any decision, I'm going to try and wait to see what the Surface Pro 4 will be offering before I make a decision on which one I will buy. So as of right now, for me personally, considering what I want to do mainly with it was going to be traveling back and forth to work so I can get some typing done at work, and taking it out of town with me so I can get some typing done on my vacations if I want to, and have enough storage to back up my pictures and junk. I'm going to try to wait to see what the 4 offers, because those are the only 2 options that's light enough and that will do what I wanted to do, basically. The MacBook, it will do everything I want to do. I can do some light editing on there if I wanted to. Nothing hardcore, but you can still get some light stuff done on there. The Surface Pro 4, I know it's going to pack probably even more power somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it, because the Surface Pro 3 was very nice. So I can't wait to see what improvements they made with the Surface Pro 4. And then I'll make my decision. Either way, it comes down to this. If you want the convenience of having a super light laptop to travel with, you're going to have to spend that money. It's going to be expensive to have the convenience of having a very super light traveling companion. It is what it is. So, in conclusion, or before I get to my conclusion, if you're interested in buying my MacBook, it's a 2011-inch MacBook Air, the 4 gigabytes i5, 128 gigabytes of storage. Go to www.shopmobilegadgets.com, link in the description below, to purchase it. The price will include shipping. So when you see the price, it already includes shipping. Have the original box. You have the charger, the little extended cable charger, nice little red leather case that's already on there. Been well taken care of. You will enjoy. So if you're interested, check out shopmobilegadgets.com. In conclusion, if you can wait for the second version of the MacBook, you should wait. If you're like me and need a laptop that's light to move around with and would like to stay about 12.5 inches and under, this is one of the best 2 options available. Till next time, later.